In this video, I'm going to show you how you can deconvolve stains. So, namely, here we have an H&E image that's been scanned and is defined now as an RGB. So to have the colors, we have a channel in red, a channel in green, and a channel in blue. And we're going to try to change the way the colors are defined to actually define a channel for hematoxylin, a channel for eosine, and a residue channel. Why is it interesting? It's very interesting if you want to segment nuclei, for example, as if you can separate well your hematoxylin from the eosine. We know that the nuclei are stained with hematoxylin, so then you can do your segmentation only in the hematoxylin. It's going to be easier. Let's say you have some HDAP images. If you want to characterize, quantify the area of DAB, if you can separate hematoxylin and DAB, then it's going to be much easier to characterize the DAB area if your stains are separate. So how you can do this, there's two ways. The easiest way is the automatic one, then you can also do it manually. So we're going to start with the automatic one. So you need to first define an annotation. So I'm going to define a rectangle. And I'm going to actually find, so it's much faster to do it on a small region, and it's important to define a region where you have a good representation of your stains. So you need also background. So ideally you have hematoxylin, eosine, and background. I'm going to try to do it here, for example. And now I can call the functions to do it. And so when I use QuPath, most of the time I use the Control L. So when you type Control, so you keep pressing Control and then L, then you have this command list that pops up. And so you can just type some words, and it's going to find all the functions that you can do with QuPath that contain this word. So here I know it's something with stain, and it's called actually estimate stain vectors, and then it gives you the way to do it. So you can directly open it here, or if you want, you can also open it from Analyze Pre-Processing. So I'm going to show you that you can also do it that way. But then I will always use the command list because I find it easier to use. So if we go to Analyze Pre-Processing, we see that we have these estimate stain vectors. So always this first question that asks you something about background, just to make sure that it's okay. So you can say yes here. And then this window pops up. So you could do it manually by defining these lines, but it's not very easy. So here you have a representation of the three different channels, so red with green, red with blue, and green with blue for the points that are defined in your annotation. And basically what you want to define is the mathematical operations going to be able to separate the hematoxylin, which is represented in blue, from the eosine. And here, basically, the only thing you need to do is to click on Auto. And you see it's changed there, and then I can click on OK. Ask you which name you want to do it. So you want to use the stain vectors. I'm going to use this one. I'm fine with it. And now nothing changed, but the estimation has been down. And so you can use this icon that allows you to switch between different channels. So we have the original, which is the three channels together, and now I can look at the hematoxylin, or the eosine, or the residual. Okay, so the residual is not going to be informatic, but the hematoxylin, for example, now it's probably much easier to do the nuclei segmentation in there instead of there. Hematoxylin, eosine. So we see that we have some empty spaces when we have hematoxin in, so which means that it's probably not perfect, even though hematoxin can block eosin, so that would explain that. But here, we do that to really help the analysis. So you can use this. So if I do it reset, so now you see that the range of intensity is different because I transformed my channels, but I can still visualize them. So if I move this, everything that is below this value is going to be in white, and everything that is above this value is going to be in purple. Or I can use auto. You can also look at this in grayscale, which looks much more like a fluorescence image in that case, which can be also useful. It really depends how you're comfortable with the image. The human eye is really sensitive to contrast in black and white, so that might be good for that, to really look at the contrast. I can check it, go back to this visualization, go back to the eosin, go back to the original. Of course, you can also look at the original red, green, and blue. And so you can see that here, clearly, yeah, I was checking multiples. So I had red and green. So this is blue, this is green, this is red. All of them together. So it's probably going to be easier to do our analysis with these two channels.